Alright, so today we're going to talk about adding rational numbers. And if you look back to your integer rules foldable, you will know that if it's the same sign, you add the numbers, keep the sign. Alright, if it's the different sign, and I'm just going to abbreviate different, then you subtract numbers and you take the bigger sign. Or take the bigger number sign. So let's do a few examples. So if you're looking at your little half sheet, you will see that we're going to start with number 1. So number 1, you are adding negative 14 plus a negative 8. Well, these are same sign, so we're going to follow our rules for same sign. So we add 14 and 8, which is 22, and then we keep the sign, which means it's negative 22. So that is our answer. So we added them since they're the same sign. Add, keep sign. Okay. Then we're going to go look at number 2. So on number 2, we have negative 13 plus 15 plus, technical difficulties on my end, a negative 48. Well, we're going to follow order of operations, which means we multiply or we add and subtract. Oh, I'm sorry, I put subtract. That's supposed to be an addition sign right there. That was my bad. All right. So we're going to add left to right. So the first ones we're going to add together is 13 and 15. They are different signs. So that means we're going to subtract 15 minus 13, which gives me 2. And then I keep the sign of the bigger number. Which one's bigger, 13 or 15? 15's bigger. So we're going to keep the 2. Let me get a different pen color. Ooh, nice purple right here. Alright, then we're going to add, then we have still plus a negative 48. Okay, now we're going to focus on this. So since they're different, we subtract them, which is 48 minus 2, and keep the sign of the bigger number. In this case, our bigger number is 48. So we keep the negative. So 48 minus 2 is 46. So we have negative 46. Looking at number 3, example number 3, we have 1/5 plus 5/8. So these, we're adding two positive fractions. Well, when you're adding fractions, the denominators have to be the same. Are the denominators the same? Is 5 and 8 the same? No. So what you want to do is you want to find the least common multiple. The least common multiple, I think, is easier if you just multiply 5 by 8 and 8 by 5. So multiply them by the other number. So we're going to multiply 1/5 by 8 over 8, and we're going to multiply 5/8 by 5 over 5. So when you do that, you get 8 times 1 is 8. 8 times 5 is 40. Then we have plus still, that doesn't change. 5 times 5 is 25 over 8 times 5 is 40. And then when we add fractions, we add the top, keep the bottom the same. So 8 plus 25 is 33. and then the bottom stays the same, so it's 33 over 40. And since they're both positive, they're both the same sign, we keep the sign which is positive. Now let's talk about number 4. So number 4, we have negative 3/7 plus negative 1/7. So in this case, our denominators are already the same, so we don't have to do anything with those. And our signs are the same, which means we add them, add the numbers. So 3/7 plus 1/7, which when we add fractions, we add across the top and then keep the bottom the same. And then we keep the sign, which is negative. Our next example, number 5. We have 14.62 decimals. Love decimals. Decimals are just so fun. Think of them like money always. Ever have trouble with the decimal problem? Think of them like money. So we have 14.62 plus a negative 19/3. Not thirds, 0.3. So the signs are not the same. One's positive, one's negative. So which means they are different. And since they are different, that means we subtract the numbers. So we're going to subtract 19.3 and 14.62. Well, when we subtract decimals, we don't subtract across. We have to subtract down. And we line up our decimals and fill in our 0 places. Right? So I need to borrow from the 3. 10 minus 2 is 8. Borrow from the 9. 12 minus 6 is 6. 8 minus 4 is 4. 1 minus 1 is 0. So when I subtract 19.3 and 14.62, I get 4.68. And since they're different, we keep the sign of the bigger number. Well, the bigger number in this case is 19.3, and that sign is negative. So we get a negative 4.68. Number 6. So we have 29 plus a negative 15.7. Oh, I need to make my decimals thicker. So we have a, let me get a different color, a positive and a negative. Oh, my decimal over here is a little bit far out. So we have a positive and a negative, which means they're different. So we need to subtract the two. So we have 29 minus 15.70. Remember, the decimals need to line up. 29 doesn't have a decimal, so we're going to add a decimal. So when we subtract those, we need to borrow from the 9. 10 minus 7 is 3. 8 minus 5 is 3. 2 minus 1 is 3. And then we keep the sign of the bigger number. Well, in this case, that number is 29. So 13.3 is going to stay positive. Number 7, Bob owed $225. So owed means it's negative. Let me get black. Owed means it's negative. So negative $225. This is number 7, by the way. He made a payment of $75, paid, so plus $75. Write an expression, describe the total change in the credit card balance. So when we change something, so we started off with $225 in the negative, right? That's how much we owed. But then I paid $75 to it. So that will give me my final balance. Well, we know that when we're adding integers, now let me get it colored, that if they are different, we subtract them. So 225 minus 75. Well, that gives me 150. Well, we gotta keep the one that's the bigger number that's, okay, I gotta keep the bigger number sign. So that in this case, that would be negative 225. So 150 is negative. So even after he paid $75, he still had a negative balance and he still owes $150.